What's up, everyone? It's Sean Evans here with Odd Shopper, bringing you another CSGO Underdog fantasy video for the Friday slate of the ESL Pro League Season 16 event. We have the same six teams on this slate, just different matchups. Once again, this time we do have G2 versus FTW. We have Big versus MIBR, and then FaZe versus Outsiders. Obviously, we had a pretty fun Thursday slate with G2 and Big going overtime in the first two maps where G2 did sweep. Hunter obviously got the over on the kills in the first map due to the overtime and how dominant he was. Moving on to the FaZe series, obviously MIBR punished them on Dust 2. Slow start for broky, so obviously he was not able to go over the 41 kills mark. Rain, though, did as much as he could to hit his headshots, and so obviously not a perfect slip. But with this Friday action, I am keeping the slip a little bit smaller. There's not a whole lot that I do like. And before we dive into that, just make sure you do click the like and subscribe button down below. Turn your notifications on. That way you guys always get notified when we do post new videos. Obviously, it is Thursday, so NFL season is kicking off. But you don't want to miss out on all the other action for college football, baseball, NFL, and NBA when it does return. So let's go ahead and let's get into the action for Friday. Starting off, obviously, we do have G2 versus FTW. G2 should dominate them. It should be a pretty easy sweep for them. FaZe made it happen. Outsiders made it happen. G2 is on a roll, obviously, with their sweeping of Big. Moving on to day 3 with a hopeful another win by them, no collapsing. Overall, for this series, there's not much that I do like. And like I said, I am keeping it pretty small. So there's nothing from this series I'm actually going to start with for the slip, but the first pick will actually be in Rivals, and it will be between Big and MIBR. It will be Faven and Keto heading head-to-head for top frags. Obviously, we'll be rolling with Faven over Keto, who gets the handicap of 3.5 kills. With that, though, obviously Faven's coming off of a huge match versus G2. Even though they lost, he dropped 62 kills. He dropped 30 on map 1. He was very close to Hunter, who dropped 39. But overall, Faven has been playing a lot better. He holds a 1.03 player rating to Keto's 0.87 rating. On top of that, in the past 3 series, Faven has completely dominated Keto in the fragging department. So that is why we will be rolling with Faven, especially in a series versus MIBR. MIBR will obviously be able to battle it out with Big and keep the series probably a little bit closer. And with that, that means Faven is going to be able to do a lot more to get out in front of Keto right away on map 1 and continue the success onto map 2. So that is why we are going with Faven over Keto, who has a 3.5 handicap for the rival play with that. And so with the first slip or pick of the slip being out, and before we move on to pick number 2, always remember to sign up using promo code STATASTIC8 at Underdog Fantasy if you have yet to sign up, because they will double your first deposit up to $100. And with that, that just means more house money to play with the NFL season finally here and college football season kicking off. So you do not want to miss out on that if you have yet to sign up on Underdog Fantasy. So make sure to use promo code STATASTIC8, that is the number 8, to double your first deposit up to $100. And now going back to the higher and lower section for the series, we are going to go to the final series of Outsiders versus FaZe. Now with this one, obviously we have broky here at 39.5 kills, Twist at 38 kills for the totals. Broky obviously came out pretty slow versus MIBR. As a whole team did. Twist was basically almost non-existent in map 1 and map 3. So I do want to caution and stay away from those 2 picks. And so I will be going with the outsider play, but it will be with James lower than the 33.5 kills on map 1 and 2. Obviously on this, we have a very small sample size to base, James and his play on so far since returning from the player break. But with that, there's just 2 series that they have played. In both those series, he has yet to hit over 33 kills. And so on top of that, which is also surprising, he still holds a very high player rating of 1.12 in those 2 series. Is because he's doing a lot more of other things besides just getting kills, which he's not doing a bunch of. And so if you also look in the past 5 series that Outsiders have played before the player break and after the player break, he has only gone over 33 kills once in his past 5 series. So there is concern there for James. Obviously, he is a great player, but overall, things just aren't working out for him in the fragging department as much as he would like or outsiders would like. But they're sticking more with players like Flit, anyways, and you have seen Fame step up too. So overall, I want to stick with the lower of 33.5 kills since he has yet to really be able to hit over that. You can say, in the first series of the year where they did face FaZe, James did drop 40 kills. But in that series, they also had Ukender versus FaZe. And that's when things were somewhat rolling for Virtus Pro outsiders overall. But with it and with what we have seen so far with the Ukender out of the lineup and for James himself, sticking with the lower of 33.5 kills is what I want to stick with. And overall, that is going to be the two plays I do like for Friday's action of CSGO for the ESL Pro League event. It's going to be James lower than 33.5 kills and Faven over Keto for kills on map 1 and 2, even though Keto has that 3.5 handicap. Other plays I have looked at, just to go over this real quick, that I don't want to really touch besides the FaZe mark, where I do think broky can hit 39.5 kills, is going to be someone like Tabson at 37 kills, or even Saracen at 39 kills. It is going to be a battle versus MIBR. I think Tabson has the better chance of hitting that mark of 37 kills, but I do want to stick away from it. Obviously, the first series big play, they were pretty sloppy versus outsiders, and then obviously they were able to compete with G2. So who knows what we're actually going to get with them versus MIBR. Also with that, I do not want to touch Burns' 38.5 kill total mark. I'm going to stay away from that, as we've seen the kills spread around for MIBR also. So overall, I want to stay away from those picks. And like I said, for G2 versus FTW, G2 should be able to dominate them. It should be a 2-0 sweep for the third time in a row versus FTW. But I would look at like JKS, 32.5 kills. I do think he can hit it, but that is going to depend on Hooksy and not if he can show up, but the plays that he does call for G2. So I am going to stay away from that series as a whole. Nico obviously can hit it. He started out slow today versus Big, but he finished strong on map 1 in overtime and map 2 in overtime. So overall, I just want to stay away from G2 as a whole and just stick with these two plays. So that's going to be it. As always, make sure you do hit the like and subscribe button down below. Turn the notifications on. And then that's going to be it. I'm out. Have a good one.